Well, there's a term called hair metal. I don't know what they're referencing. I have no clue what they're talking about. I want to be respected for my art. But that term did not exist when we were a band. It was all rock and roll or heavy metal or glam metal. That was a term. Hair metal didn't come out till like the mid-90s at the very earliest, or more likely like the late 90s, when they started running those infomercials late at night like, "Freedom rock, dude!" And I was like, what is all this stuff? Hey! Freedom Rock, get it now! Featuring Quiet Riot, Twisted Sister, Skid Row. What is all this stuff? And then the next one was hair metal, and it was all this goofy stuff. We knew there was a lot of goofy bands in metal at the time too. We saw them and we were bugged by them too. So our way of being different than all the goofy bands was to be pretty much a real heavy metal band, like on the record. Subhuman Race is the last Skid Row album, recorded in Vancouver with Bob Rock. And we recorded that in like 94, I think. Some standout songs for me are My Enemy. Frozen is a great song. Breaking Down, the ballad, is a great song. My memories of recording this album, which was in Vancouver, is we were all staying at a place called the Landis, which was downtown. We each had our own multi-bedroom apartment, like the whole corner of the building. And I remember getting in the elevator after about a month of living there, and some rich businessman comes in there and he goes, "How the hell do you guys live here?" And I got a leather jacket on and long hair and makeup. I go, "'Cause in my business, it's all or nothing." And he's like, "Well, so deal with that, Mr. Businessman." Yes, I live where you live. And yes, my hair is this long. So there was a lot of tensions. I wasn't aware of it as much as the other guys were, I guess. I never thought we would ever break up because we were so big. I didn't know you could make it that big and then just say, man, like, I didn't. But, you know, we're not the only band that broke up. It was a lot of incidents that build up, and our last show was in Rio de Janeiro on the Monsters of Rock tour '96, where we were on a bill with Motorhead and Biohazard and Merciful Fate and all these King Diamond, all these scary metal bands, and the crowd didn't like us on this bill, and that was our last show. You know, then we got offered to do another show, and they didn't want to do the show, and I left these messages on their answering machine, and they called me up and said that, you know, you don't have a band anymore. So I took that as, I guess I'm out of their band, because that was the only band I was in. Well, how did I handle it? We had just sold about 20 million records, and I had a 3.5 acre estate. So I watched videos, I drank a lot of beer, I smoked the best weed in the world. I was pretty set, you know. Wasn't like I was sad in my big house with a bunch of money in the bank. Like, I wasn't sad. I was concerned, maybe. But I had just made it big. I was eating at Italian restaurants in Manhattan and partying, you know. We were quite well off, each one of us. I know you want me to answer. I was so sad when I don't care about other bands. I have a voice that has a life of its own. That when, you know, there's a song that Jack Black wrote called The Metal. When grunge came, I laughed. Metal laughed. Techno came and the metal laughed. Ha 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 ha. Metal laughs at this shit. Metal lives forever. You can Google that. Grunge, bye. Techno, later. Boy bands, what's the name of your band again? When's Skid Row getting back? Like, what's the biggest tour in town? Guns N' Roses. Heavy metal is not a fad. Heavy metal is for life. Yes, people keep pestering me for Skid Row to get back together, but it's between the managers at this point. I don't know what to say. There's no words I can make coming out of my mouth that can change a situation. I am open to singing the same songs I sing every night with a different bass player. Yes, I can do it. I can handle the situation. If they want to go around every town in the world and collect cash, they can give me a buzz. It only bothers me hearing the same question on how many times I've heard it that day. So, try to get myself ready for it, but when you hear something over and over, it kind of gets annoying. But I understand, and I like it when I see my favorite band get together again. I mean, I'm a rock fan, so I completely understand why people say that to me 1,000 times a day, every day. I regret that the band broke up, I would love to release a vinyl box set edition of these albums someday, with unreleased content. But that would probably require us getting in the same room, which we have not done since 27 years. So don't hold your breath, folks.